So pretty much it's been about a week since Tom left, and pretty much immediately after he took off, this guy Joey stopped by, Joey Reuter. I think that's how you say his last name. And he's a local designer from Grand Rapids that is pretty successful in like the automotive realm. He does a lot of like car sculpture, statement pieces like that. Really cool guy. I'll probably toss a link in the description. But he came by and checked out the scooter, and he picked up on a couple design things that I'm going to go ahead and change, and just like I guess visual differences that I kind of pushed back on in typical Collin fashion. I was like, I don't know, man. But then I sat on him for a week, and I'm like, he was totally right. Like, there's a couple things that can be improved. Nothing major. The other thing he was like is like, I told him I was just going to start trying to push for a functional prototype, like once the plastic model was done. And he was like, why don't you whip one up? And I was like, I don't have the tools anymore. And so he offered me his shop to put together a functional prototype. So we're going to do that. Originally, I started off this whole project by buying an electric scooter and being like, I'm going to use the components from that electric scooter to make a prototype. And then I was like, no way. Like, it just wasn't going to do what I wanted. Well, we're back. The scooter's right there. That's exactly what we're going to do. So we are going to take this scooter and we are going to repackage it to look like the one in my office. But first things first, I guess what I want to do this morning on this very balmy 25-degree day is I want to see what the 3D model that we have looks like outside next to like the traditional like full suspension scooter. So I'm going to go grab the scooter from up there and bring it down here. Oh, and I already started a little bit. I didn't do very much. I got into this thing and I started labeling the wiring. So I went through, got into it, started labeling the wiring, took the battery out, took the controllers out, and all that stuff is pretty much mini motor stuff, which is standard stuff that you can go buy for yourself, like if you wanted to put together an electric scooter. So we're going to take all that componentry out and get it in this thing. So let's get the model outside and let's see what that bad boy looks like not inside. Should be sick. It's pretty good. Let's check it out. All right, so the primary differences that this scooter that I'm working on has from most on the market, which this will not be for everybody. Like, there's no way that this scooter is going to be for everybody. First off, our fender does not cover all of the rear wheel for rain. So like if you're commuting on it in every season, probably not for you. Maybe that'll change before we release it, but as of right now, probably not for you. There's no suspension. So if you're a believer in suspension on these sorts of scooters, probably not for you. If you're coming from GoPeds, no suspension. One wheel, anything with that same 11-inch tire, it's for you. So yeah, there's gonna be trade-offs for these things, but we got lower center of gravity, shorter wheelbase, hopefully more playful, shorter handlebars then because our deck plate's a lot lower. So our deck plate's lower, our handlebars can be lower, all the weight's lower, hopefully it's a little bit more like agile, playful. And then because we removed all those components, very clean and simple look, which again, won't be for everybody. A lot of people like the more complex look. They think like the more you have going on, like the more like aesthetically pleasing it is. And I'm a big believer in like less is more, like let the function speaks for itself. And we don't have the functional components of like the suspension and all of that. So there's less to look at. Yeah, it's pretty sick. I like it a lot. So I guess the next step is to take this scooter and somehow package it into the one that we're working on. So we will see how that goes. So I got the controllers over here. I've got this crazy sketch on the computer. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I guess the general idea is right here will bolt to the head tube. And then these are a brace to bolt here. And then there's another brace right here to bolt here. And that will kind of secure it. I never draw with steel, so I don't know what I'm doing, and I just need to use standard shit. So I'm just gonna like laser cut this chunk out. We'll weld it to this front plate. Should be strong enough, who knows? It's just me riding it, so it's no big deal. And then you can see this rectangle here. This will be one controller. And then when I mirror this whole thing, The other controller will bolt on the other side. Got my battery in here too. So yeah, I think it's all packaged pretty well. I wasn't sure, to be honest, I'm not sure like how it's all gonna go. This is like kind of new to me. Normally I'm like developing like products to actually use. So I did just do a 3D print. I 3D printed the very top section of that neck plate, and I'm gonna see if it will go onto this thing, the head tube. So it actually looks like it's gonna line up pretty well. Oh no! No! I printed on a new printing setting. Shoot, and it changed my dimension here. So I have to do some filing. Be right back. All right, literally this is the sketchiest thing you're ever gonna see me do. I'm kind of terrified of riding this thing, but check this out. This is the model. It's insane. It has like this ladder laser cut thing. You can see the original head tubes right here. It's got IS tab dropouts down here. Little IS tab dropouts down here. And actually what I did, I totally messed this up on accident. I ordered, because like sometimes you just gotta send it, which is what I was saying. And I like was kind of done, but not quite done. I was done. Because I had to just like make myself make the thing. It's been a few days, I've been working on it a couple hours a day. Had to hit send. Well, I ended up making these dropouts and these like post mount tabs separately, and then I freaking realized I have adapters right here that I could be using. So I updated the dropout design. I haven't ordered them yet, but I updated the dropout design to have the IS tab on it, and that way I can just bolt an adapter to it. So yeah, this thing's insane. This is the assembly view. It's savage. It's absolutely terrifying. I am not convinced I want to go 45 miles an hour on it, but we're gonna do it. So I ordered everything from laser cutting. I ordered all of the tube. I ordered all of these little weld nuts. I ordered these spacers. It even has these blocks. I ordered these pieces of metal to like these pieces of steel cold rolled to like weld in place, and then drill the hole to mount the head tube here, here, and here. So it has 3 mounting locations. This thing weighs like 15 pounds. It's insane. I am working on a hardware list to make sure I have the hardware for the controllers, the deck, the fender, the IS tabs, now that I have them. And I already ordered the tubing for the handlebars. And then follow me, the handlebars diameter is a little bit larger than what I need for these clamps. There's 36 millimeter, and I can't get that material in America. So I had to get smaller material, and then I have to like shim it. So I got the smaller tube, really long, and then I got a bunch of little shims that we're gonna weld around the handlebars to make a proper shim. And then the other thing is that this pushes the handlebars too far forward for my design. This clamp here for the handlebars. So we are going to use this light clamp here. This had, I think, the horn and the headlight on it. And we are actually going to make a water jetted riser. Drill and tap this. Hope she holds. And after it's drilled and tapped, then the clamp will bolt onto the riser. So I actually already ordered the riser from laser cutting as well. So I made 2 orders with laser cutting. Of course I messed up because now I have to order a third time for like the IS tab rather than like the welded on post mounts. But that'll be so much easier. I can't believe I wasn't thinking about that from the get-go. So next time I sign in, I'll probably be unboxing what I got coming, and then it's off to the shop. And well, actually, no, it's not. I'm going to start cutting, marking, and once everything's laid out, then I'll go to a shop, and that'll save me a bunch of time at the shop, so that I'm not using my buddy's shop space too much. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Signing out for now. It's the next day. I'm full of it. So pretty much what I've been doing here is making a massive mess. But the brakes, the Zoom brakes that come on the scooter that we're using, or just the brakes if we're excluding brand names on the scooter that we're using, are for use on mounting, so if the front is towards you, the disc brake would actually be over here. And so when you take the brake that we have here from this and we put it like so, it fits correctly. However, the brakes on the scooter we are making are on this side. And when you try to do that on this side, you will see that. Hold on. Why does this still work? Oh, it works, but then like the bung or whatever is on the bottom. So yes, it doesn't work because it would have to go on there like this, and that's just not very high. Oh, and it would face the wrong direction. Okay, it doesn't work on this side at all. Okay, I just threw myself for a loop there. But the MT5Es, which bikes are always on this side, front's towards you, back is behind me, bike brakes are always on the left side. So with the scooter that we're making, one of the biggest things is you can upgrade the brakes. So and it's easy, and it's all IS or post mount standards, which some scooters are, but some scooters aren't. So I'm just calling that out. So this will work. So what I've done is I have printed off my dropouts, which I updated to have the IS tabs on there, and that allows us to use a standard post mount adapter, line the holes up, and boom, we can bolt our brake right on to our dropouts. I did use a rear in the front and back, just the rear geometry. There's different IS front geometry and rear geometry. We're going to use rear adapters in the front and the back, so I had to buy one extra one quick. So I did that, and then I checked the rear as well. Oop, there's bolts in there right now, but that's the rear guy. It's way simpler, like way simpler. Oh, I have to order these still, so I'm going to order those today. So I ordered one more MT5E. I need to order the dropouts. I ordered all my bolts. I got all that. But one of the cool things is the only tires I have that are of good quality are freaking slicks. So I'm going to toss these onto here, and then later I'm going to set these on my desk right now, actually. Set these on my desk so that I don't forget to order these, because that would be a bummer. And I have to order 3 of them, not just 2. More on that later. All right, so I'm gonna clean up, and I am gonna swap some tires quick. All right, I had no idea these were set up tubeless. That's freaking cool. So I need to break off the other rotor, break it down, make note of my tire rotation, so that when I get these put on, I'm just gonna have a bike shop do it. There's no point in spending my time. I don't even have what I need to get this tire off of here. So I'm just gonna do that quick, and then order some dropouts and move on with my day. Yo, this is how it always happens. You get stumped on something as simple as the tires, and then more stuff shows up. So right here, what do I got? All I know is it's for this project. There's nothing else happening. It's a bag of weld nuts. These will be for the deck plate and the rear fender. I got them from McMaster Car. And then, ooh, these spacers. So these spacers are critical because the bolt is too long for holding the head tube on. So let me see if this one's going to work. So it's for this bolt because this bolt's too long now with our setup. I have a feeling this is not going to fit over the bolt. Oh my god. What, dude? Alright, let me grab the second one. Oh, that makes my life so easy. So these will go on the outside like this. And that'll make it so that, yeah. And then my laser cut pieces will go in between there. Oh my god. So we are still missing some material here. But it looks like I've got my steel for the handlebars right here. The cross member piece and some angle iron. So This is not everything. This is just the verticals for the handlebars, some cross member pieces that the fender will go on, and some like support material, like this thin cold rolled steel stock. So I still have more coming. I'm gonna have to look up that tracking number. Nothing more in there. I guess next step now is probably to clean up this material, because I was literally just sitting here wondering what I'm gonna do next, and happened that easily. So I'm gonna go, probably not on camera, because there's nothing glorious about wiping down metal. Well, good morning. So it has been a weekend. I cleaned up the material, at least some of it, and I realized it's in the trash. Hold on one second. I realized my plan is not gonna work. What was I thinking? So I originally, when I ordered the tubing to go into this clamp, I got 1.25" material, and my plan was, which this is more like 1 3/8. So there's like a 3+ millimeter difference in diameter. My plan was to take another tube, a short piece of tube, put it around the small tube and weld it on there, and then I'd get like a section this long of bigger tube. Well, for some reason I thought we were talking like 40 thousandths thick a side, because I was like, yeah, I need like 80 thousandths a wall. Well, that's a side. So I got this steel. Let me see if I can get it to zoom in on this. It's insanely thick. Oh, shit. Yeah, so I got this steel. It's insanely thick, and there's no way I was going to cut it in half and then bend it around, like kind of sandwich the tube and then weld it on. And that would give me a solid place to clamp. Well, that's not happening. So I went ahead and I ordered 1 3/8 material, which is just side of the 36 millimeters that I need for this. And now that gives me like a 20 thousandths, so like a 0.5 millimeter gap on each side. So I'm going to use shim material, which is absolutely terrifying to shim this out. But that means I need to dropouts, because my dropouts were made for the 1.25" size. So on my sticky notes here, I need to order the shim stock for the handlebars, order brake bolts because I forgot them. I don't feel like going to the hardware store for that. And I have different spacers on the front and rear, so I need to get those. I need to reorder the head tube bolt spacers that were a little too long. Ooh, big one. Charge ports. I forgot a location for charge ports, so I'm going to design a little 3D printed piece for the charging ports to clamp onto the neck plates. That should be no big deal. Forgot some washers. I need to make sure I either find or buy an M6 tap drill, pilot drill, a drill for my welded inserts, and a drill for my M8 bolts. So it's mostly boring stuff. So I'll take you on the journey of making a place for my dual chargers to mount. So let's get started on that. This is what I'm thinking here. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm gonna ride this thing. It looks so sketchy. I'm thinking I just print a piece that kind of goes like this on this neck tube, and one charger is here, one charger port is here, and then I can kind of make it clamp. I can make a piece that spans underneath this little lip here across and has a bolt, and it kind of clamps onto these rails, and then one through here as well that just kind of clamps on. A little bit of an afterthought, but I could have the charger, bolt, and that should get me exactly what I need. So let's get going on it right now. Boom. All right, check this thing out. It's pretty sick. All I did is I grounded it a little bit more, so when I go to the assembly view, it's not just like a pill shape. There's like, it kind of just continues down. I think it looks better. Pretty stoked on it. I'm gonna get the print going quick. Probably not gonna film that, but I do have a carbon fiber PLA lined up right now, and there's not gonna really be any heat. That's what I printed this stand out of, and just gives it like a nice matte finish. So I'm probably gonna rip it in that there. We're gonna get a lot of weird print lines. So I'm not sure how I'm going to set this up yet, but it's going to be weird for sure. But set it up we will, and I'll be right back with a print, most likely, maybe. Prints are done. Shoot. Oh no, they're right there. I thought I forgot to print the little, what did I call them? The cross, I don't know what I called them. Oh shit. Okay, so it will look something like this when it's on the scooter, but it will be at a little bit of like an angle. So I guess it is time. Oh, it is time to see. This is the M6 Bolt. Look at that. Freaking beautiful. All right. Did I measure right? Oh yeah. That looks freaking great. And it doesn't have to look good. I keep forgetting. I'm making the crappiest thing I can, for the sake of like quick testing. But yeah, by the time those are both loaded up in there, all right, I'm gonna do it now. Brilliant. There you are. A little journey into how I make something. Most of this I don't actually like record too much of the making process because it gets really complicated. There's all those little details. But that was a simple enough project. Just whipped it up. I think it took me about 25 minutes to draw it. Print took about an hour. 5 minutes to install it. And you have, well, you still have to stick them together, but we're gonna wait until we have the piece. Then we'll set them on perfectly in position and then use the soldering iron to stick them together, the two pieces. Next, gosh, I gotta get into cutting metal. So I guess next time we'll start getting the metal cut, or now. Shit. Next time we're gonna cut the metal, lay everything out, make sure it's good. And then the time after that, we'll zap it together with a welder. Maybe. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, I guess next time I'm gonna have to start cutting the metal, laying everything out. I should get the laser cut pieces in when I'm back in town. Got to run out of town for about a week. So yeah, cut all the metal up, and then once everything's laid out and we think it's good and we have everything's marked up, we know where we're gonna drill holes, and we'll go over to Joey's shop, drill everything, and weld it together. And I guess the welding kind of depends on what size wire he's running in his MIG welder, because if it's a really heavy wire, we probably will just tack it together and then take it to somebody to get TIG welded, because a lot of this stuff is pretty thin. And I don't know how big of beads I want to lay everything. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm excited. Can't wait to ride this sketchy thing. Later.